Okay. That's my stuff. So bring that arm around to find the ball. And pull the ribs into the corner. And down out from underneath your collarbone on there. Think about holding your collarbone and your shoulder blade up in the air and undoing compression and gravity. Press into the right hand wall with your head just slightly to open up and turn off your neck muscles. And hold that for about 3 full breath cycles. Very active left elbow, head, hips, and a lot of patience. Very slowly start to stand up. Take the tightest line, climb out. And let's give those hips a break there for a minute. Let's see here. Let's use the chair and do this. So, okay. Slide between your chair and the door in the corner here. So there's the right hand wall and the chair's off to your left. We're going to be working on the IT band of your right leg on there. Now you're going to place that ball about the width of your hand above your kneecap. So you should be able to kind of grasp a hold of your thigh with your hand, and the ball is going to roll above that. And use both hands to stabilize. For a place in the upper ribs that it's going to pull from your outer thigh all the way up to that part. When you find it, you're going to reach down, grab a black ball, and anchor yourself. Now, I want you to imagine the inside of you. There is a much shorter you that you curl down to, that you have grabbed onto right now. Use the wall to help yourself climb out. You're just going to feel like you get stuck and get locked. Breathe into that. I want you to start experimenting with turning away, pivoting away from that knee, or tipping forward out of the corner with your head. Just explore very slowly. Now you're going to pull your right hip behind you away from the pinky. I want you to kind of karate chop the wall with your right hand and draw back till you kind of feel that seam just above your knee. Now you're going to push with your right hand and just stand up taller. Try and straighten everything. Climb up out of the corner. We're going to reach down, bend your knees again, and we're going to roll up about a quarter turn and work that IT band and those outer quadricep muscles. I want you to feel like you're pushing some muscle ahead of the ball as it starts to roll towards the front of your thigh. You should feel like almost like there's a wrinkle, there's a lifting up of a lot of muscle on there, and hook into something right there. Pin it down. You're going to reach down with your fingertips and push down gently on that silver ball and tip your ribs up and away. Your right elbow is going to hit your left elbow is going to hit the left wall. And you're looking for something that's going to probably ache down at your knee. If you can get it to pull from all the way up at the top of your shoulder blade down to the knee. When you find that line, you're going to pull your ribs back towards the left wall, get taller, like you're pulling your collarbone away from your right fingertips. You know that you can't fall over, so you can rear back. Trying to reach your head all the way to the wall. Now, you're going to pick your head up off the wall, bend down for a very deep squat for just a moment, and then come back up. Take a break there. Now, the next pass, we're going to start a little more forward. We're going to go up one last ball roll, so we're just below the greater trochanter. So I want you to aim into the corner with the front of your hip and pelvis. Roll around. So you should start off in the kind of the crease of your hip here and end at the sits bone in the back. And you're going to start tipping your rib cage away from that roll. You're going to point your toes, and so the top of your foot is gently pressing into the floor so you can stretch your ankle. And find somewhere on the front of your hip. Do just a little gentle kick down with your right foot as you sweep the wall away with your right hand and separate those upper ribs. Feel like it lightens your upper rib cage as you gently take some weight into the top of your foot. Breathe deeply into the hip. Relax your shoulders so they're not working hard. They're very passive. You're just gently coming along for the ride. Feel like the more that you expand upwards, you sort of gently drag the front of the right foot forward into the world, lengthening and opening your ankle. Turn your hip out into the room to the left. We're going to step that foot through. Find your sits bone. Now you're tipped forward just a little bit at the pelvis so you can open up that space next to your sacrum and above your sits bone just a little bit. Reach back with your right hand so it's even with the silver ball at the wall. And you're going to find an area, pick some lumpy, chunky bit in the back of your hip there that starts to give you a nice, strong response up to the rib cage. You're going to reach down and press with your right hand. Tip those ribs away from the silver ball. So you're going out over the chair and turn everything to the left. Try and rotate just your ribs. Your hips are locked in place, and your rib cage is going to turn towards your left hand, the back of the chair. And so you can get a nice stretch all the way up to the base of your skull. Tuck your chin down. Patient lengthening all the way from your big toe up through your pelvis, through the top of your shoulder blade, to the back of your neck. You can feel it somewhere on the side of your sternum. Just think about that place getting longer in the front. Bring your ribs all the way back. Try and reach your head over your right elbow. Straighten your legs. Try and breathe down into your lower abdominal muscles. You're holding your pelvic floor down with this move. As you lift the ribs up, you're pulling your internal organs up out of that hip socket. Let that abdominal area relax and go neutral. All right, take a little break with that. Yeah, how does that knee feel? Pivot. A little bit more. Okay, so the first move is you're gonna grab the top of your thigh with your thumb going to the inside. That's about the spacing where you put the ball, where your pinky is. You want to be in some nice muscle to work with, but there's a lot of texture in there. Feel that grainy texture as you go across it. You might be able to hear it in your ears as you kind of grind across several parts of your body. Pin down some of that tight stuff and start tipping away. Gently sweep your knee into that silver ball to open up your hip. Your elbows are going to stabilize you against the wall. And reach back. Start looking for that line from up above at the ribs. Like a Z-shaped line. Again, picture there's a shorter you that you crouch down to protect. This guy wants to stand up the full height on there. And you have gently pulled back all of your regular muscle tissue. You want to feel these tight lines from the front of your throat, down through your shoulder, out to your knee. Where does the burn go? Is it out to your fingers? Let's start to pivot just a little bit. Turn those the hips to the right. Bring that ball around to the back of the IT band. Tip over. And make one last slow pass, pressing down with your right hand into the wall with your left hand. Spreading those ribs up above. Take it away all the way around to the front. See if you can find that seam that runs all the way up towards your hip. Just bear down into that. Again, try and push some muscle ahead of that ball. Reach your hip back into the wall. Really cut down in between your quad lines. And then peel yourself out. So we're going to reach down, roll that ball up about a quarter turn so it's halfway. A little bit of a knee bend on there. So you got a little bit of vertical to, woo, that's the word, goodness. So as I fall off the back of my IT band into that pocket, it just screams on the left side of my rib cage on there. Brings you to a dead halt on there. So hopefully you can find something that nasty in yourself when it brings you to a stop. Just do that. Stop. Be patient right there. Try and spread it out. Wait for that pain to recede. Maybe you can separate it into two pieces. There's some sore stuff happening in your leg, and there's some sore things happening between your ribs. Allow those problems to disentangle from each other. Pull your left hip back into the corner. You want to feel that slight push ahead with that muscle, and we're going to reach down with your left hand and push down on that silver ball. Feel that gives you some amazing leverage right between the ribs. Breathe too. It's going to turn as you push down. Bring that left shoulder down, blade down with it. You're going to turn off. Play around with it. Act down and then relax. What happens? Does your body kind of buckle and want to pop back? particular position, what is there? As you push down and climb taller, where is the remaining band of stuckness? Rib. See if you can turn your rib cage, put a little twist in that area, start challenging it to spiral, separate. Lift it away from the burn down at your leg. We're going to tip back on this one. Really bring those ribs behind you. You can have your hand on the chair against the wall and pull everything back. You know you can't fall over. Really work that burn. And let's stand up slowly there. And the last one, you're going to bring it up one more quarter turn to the front of your hip crease right there. Pivot your pelvis into the wall on there so you can start at the front of your hip and roll all the way around to the back of your sit. We're going to begin at the front. Do a little exploration roll with the ball first. Kind of target what you're going to be working on. You can start to pull those tight ribs away, and then you're going to point the top of your foot and bring it behind you along the wall. So this is a way to create separation in two active directions here. You can use your arms to push down and against the wall to lift your rib cage away from the pelvis, then kick out with your foot and separate. Then your knee can bend and you can lower your pelvis. You're still doing the first two things, but you're going to drop yourself into a new line that you couldn't achieve before. See if you can find a really burny pocket somewhere in that hip. Drop into it and then just relax. Surrender. Use the least amount of effort with your right leg to keep you held up. Tip your rib cage away from that burny, painful spot at your hip and feel which toes does it go down to on that left foot. Turn the rib cage away. Pushing down gently with the arms to turn off those neck muscles. See if you can find a connection. If you really want to dig in, you can reach over with your fingertips and work just below your collarbone. Sometimes there are some really challenging places here that are curved over with your entire rib cage and torso. See if you, wherever you feel that burn, think about adding a little bit more support right there so that it can endure that surgery, but you're pushing back against it so that it knows it won't rip apart. You're holding it from the other side. See if you can roll out to the front, dragging the top of your foot. Think about all the times that you've sprained your ankle. Kind of press your way around. Then we're going to straighten that foot and bring the silver ball to the back of the sit bone. Your pelvis is at an angle here. You're not straight up and down against the wall because you want to open up the back of the sit bone and the pelvis. You're going to feel there's a little bit of just really dense nastiness in there. Pin that down, push down on the back of the chair, and tip over. Pull your rib cage. You can cut right down in between those things. Once again, you're looking for places all the way up to the top of your collarbone. You can grab your black ball here and pin it. Let's do that. Pin it and hold on. And imagine peeling down inside of you, layers and layers down to the very core of your body. And there's somebody in there who's already locked up. And you want to apply the pressure just to that very narrow band. Let yourself spiral to the left and then to the right. Fingertips, so your hips, your pelvis behind. Feel that weight roll through the sole of your foot from the big toe out to the pinky toe. Tip over. Find one last line to settle on where you get a really nice burn. And really tip your whole torso away from that hip. We're going to reach and press down with your left hand and separate. See if you can feel that all the way down to your heel, through the back of your shoulder blade. Rest that left elbow against the wall as you push down to lock your arm in place. You can spread the cage above the silver ball, above your elbow. We're going to let everything relax. Let's take a walk with that. Let's do the next stuff seated in a chair. Tuck yourself into the corner with your chair back. And okay, so we're going to take one black ball under your right thigh. You're going to your leg and just up close to the sits bone on there. I want you to be able to kind of work the back of your hamstrings. Your sits bone should feel like it's on the chair bottom on there, and then focus right on the middle line bone, sorry, the hamstring to begin with. Then we're going to tuck the silver ball underneath your right armpit so that your elbow can reach the wall. And we're going to put that other black ball in your right hand. Push down gently with your right hand onto the top of your thigh. You're going to turn to the right. You're squeezing with your right elbow, and you're going to grab the front seat. Grab the front of the chair seat. And you're going to create a gentle separation and spiral of your ribs. The key here is the elbow squeeze, and tip the head away from wherever you feel that tension. See if you can relax your leg down below. When you find a good line of stretch in your rib, tip the rib cage away from the right hand wall. Keep actively reaching your heel down towards the ground. And stretch the base of your skull away from that black ball. A little harder with your right arm and pull yourself back over your right leg. Shift your torso out as far as you can over your right knee and toe till the right foot is on the floor. You're pushing down with your right hand and extend those rib cages, squeezing that silver ball like bagpipes. I want you to lift. Turn the back of your rib cage behind you, away from that black ball and your knee. Really breathe into the shoulder blade. Push that heel down, push the pinky toe side of your foot down. Pull your pelvis towards the back of the chair. Hold this for about 4 or 5 breath cycles. See if you can really feel that burn on the side of your body. Okay, just lay yourself down slowly. We're going to unpin the top balls and pull that ball out from under your leg. Anybody have any digits or toes numb?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Squeeze that ball in your inner thighs for just a second, just to give yourself a left to right comparison. Okay, so tuck one black ball underneath your left hamstring. And a nice tight spot. When you tip forward, you know that you're going to land right where you need to work. And then we're going to bring that silver ball into your left armpit. Give a little grip. Brace your elbow against the wall for extra pressure. And then you're going to put that black ball in your hand. Now, if it feels like it gets too skin pulley under your arm, you can adjust for that. If you pull the ball a little bit further back in your rib cage, you can modulate that so that some of it is not your skin, but a lot of it can be, and you got plenty to work on without having that super burny feeling. And then you're gonna grab the chair front with your right hand. Now think about spreading your shoulder blades around your ribs as you squeeze down, rearing back. Your left leg is relaxing to begin with. You're pushing down gently. And feel the weight shift, move backwards. Wherever it's stuck in the middle of your rib cage, that's what you're breathing to. Think about lifting and separating that line of stuck ribs. Your sits bone can reach for the seat actively as you rear back with the ribs and squeeze down with the shoulder blade. Turn your face away. Tip forward. Squeezing with the elbow, reaching down with your left foot, getting taller. See if you can pull that elbow back behind you. Again, you're gonna hold that active reach. You can be pulling your pelvis to the back of the chair as you reach your heel down, as you squeeze your left elbow, and you lift the rib cage. Now think about pulling the back of your left ribs away from the black ball, away from your heel, pulling them toward behind you. Create that nice separation up the back of your neck. And then you're going to slowly let yourself ease back down. Relax into that arm squeeze. Open everything up. We're going to unpeel that for a second. There. Silver ball just above your knee, so it should fit in there nicely. And then you're going to bring both black balls down to the front of the chair so you can press behind you and lift the front of your rib cage. And you're going to roll your shoulder blades around to the back on there using those balls. So your palms will end up facing forward behind the black balls. It's not just a squeeze together with the shoulder blades, but I want you to feel that roll. And you're going to roll them forwards. Bring your thumbs around to the IT bands. And then roll them to the back. Notice where there's any glitches. See if you can touch your pinkies to the chair. Does it start to cramp next to your spine anywhere? Hold that there, to the back for just a few breaths. Okay. And we're going to take a little break there. So we're going to put that silver ball behind you on the chair so that you can pull your sacrum. I want you to be able to slip your hand underneath the silver ball. Your palm under there, or a couple palms on, so that you pull yourself in tight so that you can imprint your sacrum into that silver ball. And we're going to reach forward and just put the two black balls just above your kneecaps. You're going to press down. Now really work on lowering your elbow bends here. Push down, push with your hands, reaching both elbows down and kind of spread across the back of your shoulder blades. Curl your chin down, curl forward so your forehead ends up pointing at the floor. Couple breaths as low as you can go with that curl, and then curl your way back up. Reach that spine back, lift your chin at the end, bear back, push those knees away, breathe big, and then exhale. And then tip forward, roll that ball up just a little bit so it's really catching the top of your sacroiliac joint and your pelvic crest. And you're going to move those black balls up to the halfway point on your thighs. Push down, push forward. Lock those elbows down at a bend. And you're going to turn your ribs to the right. Trying to get taller. Spiral up out of your elbows, out of your hips. Your shoulder blades go down. Elbows are going down. Your feet are pressing strongly into the floor. Really imprint into that right sacroiliac joint. Next exhale, you're going to turn heavy back through the center and then rotate to the left. Those elbows, squeeze them in, reach them down. Spiral your ribs up and out. Push down through both balls, kind of open up the heels of your hands. Surrender wherever. Try and relax and allow things to get longer. Actively reach those elbows down. And come back to the center. We're going to curl your chin down. Tip your forehead all the way down to the shoulder. It presses more firmly into the base of your fingers. Down to the top of your quadriceps, kind of like you're doing a 1/4 push-up here. And then curl your way back up. Really feel it in those forearms. Breathe that in. Let's work those wrists out with a few circles there. And then we're going to take that silver ball. You're going to roll it up to the middle of your lumbar spine. And then you're going to roll it out to the right so that it's tucked into we're going to work the floating ribs right there. So you have a nice anchor at the top of your pelvis. That silver ball is resting on the top of your pelvic on there. And you can, as you tip back, you're going to be able to wrap those floating ribs over that silver ball on there. So twist just a little bit to your right on there, and you're going to pick your hip up and tuck the black ball underneath the front of your sits bone. I want you to trap your low back there. And we're last black ball in front of your shin, just below your knee. Interlace your fingers around that, and you're going to pick your knee up and just tip to the left. Sweep your right knee out into your wrist as you tip to the left. I want you to stretch all those muscles kind of running in between your, up to every rib from the top of your pelvis. Think about doing a slow iron out, a drag away from the center of the spine, out towards the side of your pelvis. You can slide your body away to the left. That knee in a little closer to your chest. turn your rib cage to the left. Push down through your left foot. Okay, let's take a little break. Bring that leg down for just a moment. And you're going to turn to the right just a little bit. Put your left hand over the far side of your right knee. So you're really pushing into the top of your pelvis. Take that last black ball in your right hand and press the wall away on your right. Over. You just kind of dangle yourself over a very achy place that either, once you hit it at the top of your pelvis, it either goes deep into your sacroiliac joint or up high in your ribs or kind of down towards your knee somewhere. Really surrender into that line. See if you can extend your body, length, start to reach your toes out towards the floor, extend that leg, pull your ribs up and away from your toes. And really let the back of your neck relax as you tip it forward. Breathe gently to the back of your ribs. Turn your ribs to the left. Really hit that side edge of your pelvis with that silver ball. Okay, now we're going to reach around. You're going to take that left hand from your knee and bring it around to the back of your elbow. That same isometric with your elbow, like you're going to pull your elbow down into the wall, kind of low and behind you. Lift your knee just a little bit. Bring that right foot up off the floor and sink into that corner of your iliac crest, all those deep low back muscles. And let everything relax on that. You're going to unpin your leg, reach back, bring that ball to the center of your spine for just a moment. That's a pretty drastic difference. Take a moment there to feel that. Your spine may feel utterly different on each side. Okay, so you're going to reach back and roll that ball out. Just a touch so you find your own lumbar spine right there. You're in tight to the spine to begin with, over the top of the pelvic crest. And then you're going to tuck one ball underneath the hamstring. So you're gripped in. And then we're going to bring the black ball to just below your kneecap so you can just interlace your fingers and rear back. Breathe into that. Sweep your knee out to the left. On there, you can tip your body in the other direction. So we're trying to turn off the psoas muscle here. So you give it that little left-handed sweep on there. A big chunk of it is going to turn off deep in your pelvis. Use the upper body weight to create traction. And you know that you can't fall over. Eventually, you're going to hit that other wall. So let yourself relax. Let yourself hang off of that. Your right foot to push the earth away and dig that silver ball into those places that you have just opened up. Use your neck up above to open up your shoulder. You're working your way further out to the edge of your hip and pelvis. See if you can bring that knee up closer towards your chest. Activate just a little bit more. Ankle circles work really well here too. And slowly come down with that one. Peel that ball out from under. We do that? No, that's not right. We're gonna, what do we, tip over, oh yeah, reach across your knee. You're gonna find the wall with your left hand. So you're gonna sweep the knee out to the left. And feel things activate up to the back of your ribs and shoulder. You can separate your ribs from that left shoulder here. Those strings. We're going to start to extend that left leg. If you have a big, chunky, fast move like I did, go back and try that again. That means that you've got to work on right there. Usually your leg moves fast is because you're doing a quick adjustment for something up high in the rib cage. Let's curl forward from there. The weight of your head will create really great stretch down. Feel like you can tuck into the back of your thigh, into that head. It's very open, easy to work with, easy to access with an isometric. Just sweep that knee out or push down through your toes. Breathe into that. Okay, we're gonna just make the last turn to the left. And we're gonna start with the arm out to the wall, reaching to the far side of your knee, and you're going for the very top of your pelvic press. Tip over, twist, so that you're pulling your ribs up and out of that hip, lengthen through your toes. See if you can feel that pull at the front of your chest. And you're pushing the world away with your left hand. Really activating that upper part of the shoulder. Some places, see if you can relax them. If they're cramping, really surrender into them. See if you can kind of fall back and land in that area. All right, we're going to change that grip, and we're going to reach up and grab the outside of your left elbow, pull it back down towards the corner or lift it up a little bit, and tip your rib cage over. This is latissimus. We're catching that very bottom pelvis and what it does to the front of your arm. We're turning that all off. Stretching where it comes up the back of the rib cage. A nice tingly burn in there and work with it. All right, let's unpin all of that. And we're going to move that silver ball up back to the center of your spine and right at the bottom of your fixed rib. You're going to slide your hips back as far as you can go, and we're going to take both black balls out to the side for just a moment. Push the world away with your right hand, so you're going to kind of flip the fingers back towards you, push, tip your head back, and turn your ribs in that direction. Go as far as you can with the rib cage. We're going to sweep that left arm over. See if you can keep that arm straight and reach the wall up top. Climb and breathe and twist. And then bring that arm back on there. We're going to go the other direction. Push the world away with your left hand. Turn the ribs to the left, get taller. Nice tight line, and then reach and sweep. I can barely reach the wall on the left-hand side. See if you can stretch and extend. Woo! And breathe. Tip to open up those ribs. At least 3 breath cycles, and then bring that arm back across. Press out with both arms. Lift the center of your chest on there. We're going to bring those arms down. So bring your hands down, find the base of the chair and just squeeze in with the black balls against the base of the chair. Lift your ribs out of your shoulder blades. Just see if you can feel a nice pull right at the base of your skull. As you relax those shoulder blades down, squeeze. As you squeeze the hands together, you should lever your shoulder blades straight out at the top. Just breathe between those armpits and let everything relax on there. We're going to bring both black balls up to just below your collarbone. Roll them together at the center so you can bring your chin down over your knuckles, tucking those elbows, and you're going to curl forward. Now curl down until you have a nice stretch, and then you're going to work on reaching your sits bones in the opposite direction. And just hold this for about 3 breath cycles. Bring your ribs to press back against the silver ball. Get taller in the middle as you curl. Elbows pull down, chin pulls down, hips down. Feel it at the base of your skull. And we're going to release. Lift your chin up once and come down. So reach back one more time, squeeze the seat of the chair with the 2 black balls in your palms. Lift your chest out from in between. See if you can feel this lower, closer to your elbows and your biceps right now with this press. At least 3 full breath cycles here. So we're going to do that same pull, but you're going to come out to a little bit of space at the center. Bring your face forward. You're going to catch the edges of your jaw on your knuckles, curl down. When you find a nice spot that feels stuck, pause there. Reach down with your pelvis, press through the center of your spine, curl your chin. Spread your shoulder blades wide. Breathe to your elbows. Breathe to the back of your skull. And then we're going to curl that. Now, as you lift your neck up, I really want you to pay attention. Those sides of your neck are going to feel uneven. I want you to pause when you get that sense of unevenness. Whichever side is shorter, tip your ear away from that black ball. Lengthen that side of your neck. Give it a couple of breaths. And then come back up to the center. Go the other direction briefly. And then one last, just curl up and down using the neck only. Chin goes between both balls. Listen for anything tight between your shoulder blades. And release for just a moment. So you're going to hold the balls with palm up in your hands. Rest the back of your on your thighs. Press down to the back of your hands. Press the ribs. Breathe into your spine. Try and relax the core of your body. Feel your breath move in and out. Relaxing your back muscles as much as you can. Where is there a little cramp? Where do your legs want to shake? Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a break there. Pull that silver ball out for just a moment. And then we're going to put that silver ball down in between your right side of your spine and your right shoulder blade. If your chair back isn't high enough to do that for some reason, you could turn so that your back is against the wall. Your back is off to the right hand side. In fact, let's do that. That'll be actually So turn your chair so that you can put the silver ball. Let's start low. Let's tip forward and find the bottom corner of the blade, and then as you roll back up, you should have a nice tucked in area on the side of your shoulder blade. Then we're going to take your right elbow, you're going to rest it above the chair back, you're going to tuck a black ball. Black ball can pinned against the wall, and that last black ball is going to go in between the palm of your two hands. Tip your head away from the right elbow and reach it forward away from the silver ball, kind of going out over your left hip. And look for a nice line of stretch. So that right elbow is going to sweep back into the wall. You can kind of soften and surrender that area on the back of your ribs that's going to talk to you. That's a lot of muscle there. It's a lot of different layers. See if you can roll the ball between your palms to kind of stretch the base of your right hand. It's going to burn from that pinky to your elbow to the base of your skull. If you can tune into a really nice line of stretch. When you do that, you're going to sweep your right knee out into the chair back and towards the wall. Breathe in between those. You really want it to burn. If it tingles in your fingers, give that black ball a squeeze to work those lines. All right, let's take a little break there. Now you're going to turn to the right so that silver ball goes up the back of your shoulder blade, and you're going to black ball in your right hand and kind of pin your palm on the back of your chair. You kind of jammed your elbow into a tightly bent position, almost like a shot put, and turn to the right on there. Feel the silver ball roll over those now slack muscles of your latissimus and your trapezius. We're going to reach up that. So let's take that, your black ball, and slip it on the outside of your IT band, somewhere where you feel a nice stretch. And that's going to leave your left hand free to go up to the base of your skull and pin. And I want you to think of stretching the neck muscles on the front and the back of your neck individually. You can gently lift up on the right side of your skull. You can kind of cup it with the inside of your middle three fingers. And press your head into those right fingertips. You can turn your face. You can take your ear towards the right hand and the right ball. Breathe and separate up. Start to curl your chin down towards your right hand. Curl it down away from, lengthening from the base of your shoulder blade. And then slowly curl your way back up. Really press out through that right hand. Head to peel up away from your right elbow. And then we're going to take a break. Rest your right forearm on the silver ball, and then tuck the black ball just below your elbow bend, so it's on your forearm, that nice meaty part of the forearm, and you're going to pin that. So you're kind of squeezing your forearm in between the two black balls. Roll them just a little bit. So as you kind of karate chop down towards, like you're going to go past your right knee, it's going to squeeze the two balls even harder. And you're going to tip and lift your rib cage. So you should get a nice resistance on there. It's going to give you a little stretch. You can press down and then you can move your rib cage around, feeling for that tight stuff. You can use those extra left fingertips to grab on below your collarbone if you want to. Work your fingertips. You can do wrist circles or like piano playing motions or little waves. And at some point, you're going to pull your ribs behind you as you reach forward with the fingertips. And you can't reach forward anymore, sweep your right arm out to the right and slide your ribs to the left. Like you're going to slip out of a jacket sleeve. See if you can bring those ribs out to the left and around to the front. Take a break with that. Really nice under your collarbone. Let's reverse that chair. Left side is going to go with the chair back. Tip forward, bring the ball up to the bottom corner of your shoulder blade, pin it against the wall so when you sit fully upright, it should have a nice slot. Like it's, you can touch it up a little bit. Find that nice grippy half pipe to begin with on there. And we're going to take your elbow. You can pick a tight spot, but you're going to come over the top of the back of the chair. And then last black ball goes in between the palms. And you'll probably find something immediately to work on here. See if you can feel those muscles spiraling up from the bottom corner of the shoulder blade up to the base of your skull. They stop on 4 different neck vertebrae, 3 or 4 different neck vertebrae. They hang on to 4 different ribs down below. There's a couple different layers of these. And you want to stretch each individual layer. Work with the roll the ball in between the palm of your hands. Define your lines. Again, when you find something that pulls down into the fingers, give a little squeeze over the black ball. Work with your elbow and your arm into the wall. You can lift the other elbow, whatever works for you here. Start turning your rib cage. Lock your elbows and wait for your rib cage to start to move below a shoulder blade. It's going to take a while. You're going to start to feel the uneven pull on some of the ribs. Now, we're going to take this up further on the left side of the body. So you're going to look for a place on your IT band. Flip the black ball, pin it to the chair, and then we're going to reach back and no. That's it. We picked up your head. No. Put the head this way. In the base of your skull. So you can press back with your head into your fingertips. And then reach down with your sits bone. Think about spreading the ribs in the middle. And it's play around with the sensation as you press back with your neck and then let everything relax. A lot of us have muscles that are pulling forward even before we try and take a breath in. We have to pull our head forward and then start to inhale. Back to your breathing as you press back with a nice, steady, consistent pressure into your fingertips. Into your breathing. Try and take through your 4 cycles without losing that backwards pressure. And you will train your neck on there. Once it experiences that it doesn't have to pull, doesn't have to do that preemptive movement. Now you're going to start to rotate your face towards the left. On there, sweep your left knee out to the left on there. Turn your face. Press your head back like you're getting taller, lengthen. You can grab the chair back and help that separate. Pull those ribs even farther out. Then we're going to go the other direction. You're going to turn your rib cage away out to the right. Press back with your head, get longer. Okay, we're going to take a little break there. Unpin that for just a moment. You're going to turn to the left with your upper body just a little bit so that now you're on the back of the shoulder blade triangle. You're going to tuck your elbow in, press into the chair back. Bring the black ball to the outside of your elbow there. And then we're going to reach back and grab the base of your skull. So you can sweep your head back, sweep out with the elbow. So you're turning mid-traps off. It's a little slice of trapezius that goes absolutely horizontal across your shoulder blades. As you tip your head away, you're going to lengthen the upper part of traps. Then you can breathe into the rib cage, press it back. Open up down to the middle of your spine. It's a kite shape. Try and lift your head up on the left-hand side and flex those muscles. And then let it relax and go deeper into the stretch. Little flexes anywhere where you feel a little pull. Just create a little tiny isometric to go in there.
Christy?
Yep.
This is the stretch for me. Can you help me remember it? And then I'll write it down at the end or something?
Yes, and I am actually recording this, so I should be able to take the chunk out and
oh, great. Thank you.
reference it. So yeah, so keep playing with that on there. So you can go to different places on your arm. You can turn your face away to the right and explore that line in a whole bunch of different ways. And really play around with reaching your sits bone down towards the chair on that left-hand side. So you're taking off muscles in the middle of your torso. All right. Okay, let's stand up for just a minute on there. Bring the black balls underneath both of your sits bones. Grip the silver ball between your knees on there, and we're just going to do a little go forward and sink down into the back of your sits bones. Now, you want to make sure that you have enough chair out in front. So hang by the back of your sits bones like you're cutting up into the slot on both sides of your sacrum. We're gonna, your hands are on the chair bottom, your thumbs are pressing forward, and your forefingers wrap underneath the chair. Squeeze the ball with your thighs. Squeeze the ball with the base of your fingertips and curl your chin forward. Breathe into the soles of your feet. Try and balance yourself across all three balls. If one side feels kind of stuck or tight, I want you to tip away from that side and press down with the opposite hand. Lengthen, try and pull, like push down with like your right hand while you're hanging from the underside of the chair with your left hand. And then switch, reverse that. Come to the center, slide just a little bit more forward, and you're going to reach your shoulders to the back of the chair. Lift, pull your belly button in toward your spine. Lift all of your abdominal muscles on there. And you're going to walk your feet in underneath you. So you're up on the balls of your feet. Roll your sits bones back so that you're on top of both black balls. You should be able to flatten the arches of your feet now. Grab the back of the chair back. Tip forward. Squeeze with your knees. Squeeze with your elbows. And just try and lengthen behind your sternum. Tuck your chin ever so slightly. Pull yourself upright there. We're going to widen your leg. See if you can get your leg just off to the edge of the chair on there. And we're going to pull the silver ball into the pubic bone, and you're just going to sink forward so you're pinned by your sit bones and the front of your pubic bone. Just take the palms of your hands onto your thighs. Your fingertips are pointing in towards the silver ball. Push down towards your knees. Bring your pubic bone forward and just lift your chest. Think about opening everything all the way up to your in the back. Now we're going to slide your hands out to the inside of your knees. Squeeze your knees together. Bring your chest forward just slightly. And breathe down the back of your sternum. Imagine all of your ribs flattening out all the way down. And relax. Okay. We're going to stand up there. Finish up with a nice long spinal roll. Now we're going to use the wall to do this. Okay. Let's get those calf muscles just to breathe. So you're going to sit with your hips and your back tight to the wall. Lift your kneecaps up so that you can slip the black balls. You're going to widen your feet just a little bit so that you can just float your legs. Do some nice calf circles. If you need stability, you can rest your hands on your kneecaps. Stay by the legs and let's easy ankle circle. Slow it down and roll through those tight areas. Then we're going to release, go the other direction. Bring your feet together, bring the big toes together, and let those black balls just pull up gently on the muscles on the outside. You're just going to roll your insteps, heels into each other, so big toes separate, and then bring the big toes together, separate your heels, and just massage the outside of those calf muscles. Stop when you feel a nice stretch. Reach forward, try and flatten your spine,
Extend your arms. Breathe into your low back. All right. Bring your heels down. Press into the floor just enough to lift up your knees. Roll those black balls just slightly further away. Sink down. That might be a really tight spot that you land on. Do just a little bit more of that massage. Now notice if one of your legs doesn't want to turn like the other one. If it gets kind of chunky or choppy, like my right leg is not cooperative. Study that just a little bit more. Let's do a couple point and flexes right here. Now you're going to take both palms and you're going to press them into the floor. Pull your toes back towards your nose. Straight. And then slide your feet apart. Slide out so you reach the outside edge of your calf muscles. Keep drawing those toes back. Push down into the floor with your hands. Breathe into that. Notice which side is more tight. See if you can lengthen a little bit extra on that side. Send your heel out. Pull your ribs back. And then slide your legs together, studying any hip cramps that happen at your hips. Tighten your hips up against the wall. Rest your heels, pick your knees up, roll those black balls down one last time. Down with the palms of your hands into the floor and find the middle, so we're right at the top of those Achilles tendons. Do some nice ankle circles, see if you can balance there. Just reach forward, keeping your arms pressed straight, curl your chin down, open up the back of the ribs, soften your belly, curl forward, and we're going to reach out and just grab both of the black balls just beyond it. Pull forward, see if you can relax the back of your thighs, rest your big toes together, and lengthen. If you want to go out further with your hands and grab your ankles, you can do that. Or if you want to go even further and grab over the tops of your toes, you can do that. Breathe into that. Cycles. Notice if you're sliding off to one side like I am. And then release on there. Let's pull that back up. Okay, so we're going to take the black balls, one under each sit bone. Up. Bend the soles of your feet are flat on the floor, and then we're just going to slide forward slowly. The palms of your hands. Just study the symmetry as you pass over the back of your pelvis, which side feels thicker. Just note it. Come into the lip of the ridge of your pelvis. Fold your hips into your heels as tight as you can. Set your hips on the floor. Walk your feet out just a little bit. And then we're going to bring that silver ball behind you. So there's a hand's thickness in between the black balls and the silver ball. Set your rib cage on it. Your head will be able to rest lightly against the wall. Pick your pelvis up. Slide down the wall with your head. Slide your hips, elbows. Stay on the floor with your forearms. Take it as far forward as you can. Set them down. Press back with your hands just a little bit. Breathe into your armpits and the front of your chest. The key here is reaching back with the top of your head into the wall. And then you're going to reach up, interlace your fingers behind your head. Pick your hips up. Roll the silver ball up between the shoulder blades. Squeeze the shoulder blades together over the top of the ball. Pull the elbows behind you. Press back with your head. Turn off everything from behind the sternum to those black balls. Feet out a little bit. And then roll that silver ball up into the back of your neck. You're going to reach the wall above your head. Just push the wall away, pull your hips down away from your fingertips. Press back with your head into the silver ball. You can stretch your fingers here. And you're going to walk the heels in as tight as you can to your hips. Press with your feet, clear the ball. Pick up your head. And see if you can do a little sit-up over those bent knees. Wee-hoo!
Very good.
So expose something in my rib cage now. Woo.
All right, that's good.
All right. I hope you got lots out of that.
We did. I did.
Cage here.
Thank you mucho.
So Elizabeth, I'll see if I can, I'm gonna get that clip part uploaded to, I'm trying to put them on YouTube. I'm gonna send you a link, and the class will be just put the new name.
Okay, so if you have a link for where your YouTube stuff is, that would be super. I didn't
Yeah.
know you were doing that. That
No,
was,
I'm just starting, but it takes a while to get them to upload on there, so.
that was really super helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So yes, stick to that stuff. You'll get a lot out of that, even if you don't have a ball in your car or something. I'm hoping to host a class in a car. There.
That'd be
Put
great.
your phone on the dashboard on there while the weather's still nice on there, so you can just work with your steering wheel, because that's just a fantastic thing to use. All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Marie.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.